Boys, man, things are getting rough right now for crypto. There's really no other way to sugarcoat it. And we're going to talk about what this means in my personal opinion, what I'm going to be doing. Does this change anything? We're going to talk about short term, long term. Should you be worried? Am I worried? Et cetera, et cetera. So talking head video. And I never get to show you guys the room that I film in, but here's this massive light that I'm always using. There's the camera. Here's the rest of the room. So, man, I wasn't going to make this video, but now that USDC is temporarily on hold for Coinbase, that's a big deal, guys. We're talking about Coinbase, okay? And we're talking about USDC, another big one. Anytime we're talking about the stable coins and they are not backed one-to-one, it is a major, major issue for us in the crypto world. And man, like I think if somebody doesn't really know what they're talking about, they might look at this and say, oh, it's fine. You know, it's only down 7%, 5%, whatever it is. No, my friends. It doesn't work like that. It's not like Bitcoin goes down 5%. It doesn't work the same. This has to be backed one-to-one, meaning one USDC or one USDT, the tether, right, is worth exactly $1. That's the whole point of it. And if it's not, or if it's at least not perceived to be, what do you think that means? If you think about it, in my personal opinion, what that means is it's forced regulation will come. Now, we've already been hearing a lot of rumors. I'm not going to get into all the details of forced regulation, but this really gives the SEC, however you want to look at it, this really gives them the opportunity to say, ha, now you need us. This is how we get in for the regulation. This is how we start with these stable coins, okay? Now, I will admit, I'm not really for regulation. However, I've always said this, for stable coins in particular, I am for it. I do want USDC to be backed one-to-one. I do want Tether to be backed $1 equals one. That's how it should be. But the rest of crypto, the actual crypto coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Litecoin, I want those to do their own thing. The problem does come, though, once the SEC gets involved or the SEC gets involved with all of this. Do you think they'll stop at Tether? They're looking for every single opportunity they can possibly get. And again, this is not a small deal. If you think this is a small deal, I don't know. Now, I'm not saying it's time to panic. Not yet. Not at the moment. And, it's a tough one. It's a lot to think about, everybody. But for me, let's talk about what I'm doing. I am buying coins, but I haven't bought yet. I think we need to see how bad the dust will settle with USDC. I know for the weekend, it is temporary blocked because the banks are collapsing. Some banks are collapsing. I'm not going to get all the details. I'm not going to bore you. This is a crypto mining channel. But banks are now collapsing. And so Coinbase has chosen for the weekend, you cannot trade it. To my knowledge anyways, that's what the email said. So how much longer will that go on? Monday, will everything be good? I don't know. The thing is, if you haven't watched CoffeeZilla, check out CoffeeZilla's video. He articulated this far better than I can. And he mentioned and exposed really what is going on with USDC, USDT, Tether, how it's not actually backed. Now, I have no facts. I have an opinion that maybe some of it's FUD, but if you really watch his entire video, I think it's quite convincing that it's not FUD. And I genuinely, really optimistically, we're going to put on the hopium mask right now, hope that this isn't true. Because again, regulation, forced regulation is not what we want, but we do want it, at least for me, on stablecoin. It's very concerning. It's a lot to think about. Now, if you're only interested in the short term, this is where news gets a little bit better, in my opinion. If you're only interested in the short term, all of this is very, very concerning for you, right? If you're trying to get some money next month, in a couple weeks, maybe the next 6 months, yeah, maybe this is really concerning. However, for those of us who are in it for the long term, the long run, I think you'll be perfectly fine. Will some regulation come out of this? Potentially. I don't know what the future will entail. But if you're in it for the long run, this is such a good opportunity. This is an excellent opportunity. Whatever coin that you're interested in, whether that's Flux, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's Ethereum. I don't like Ethereum. completely despise Ethereum, but whatever, right? Whatever coin you are interested in, I think this is a fantastic opportunity to dollar cost average into it. And could it go down more? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I say dollar cost average, DCA, instead of throw all your money at it at once, right? The closer we get to that 20,000 Bitcoin, we were just under 20,000 Bitcoin, right? We have to hold this 20,000 number. If we don't, okay, then maybe things will start getting worse and worse. But look at it as a good thing. If you're in it for the long term, that's fine. You know what? Embrace it. Bitcoin goes under 20,000. Great. I can't wait. It's a win-win because we know that we're going to benefit if these prices go up. However, if the prices go down, no problem. We're going to weather the storm and we're buying more. Now, what does that mean for my miners? I know a lot of my audience are miners, whether that's GPU, ASICs. I mean, obviously, I'm a miner as well. What that means for you is I don't think you should focus on the daily profits. I mean, I've been saying that for quite some time. Don't worry about if you're making 7 cents here, 8 cents, losing 10 cents, losing 20. It doesn't matter, right? Mining is a very slow process. Mining takes a very long time to make any kind of money off of these cryptocurrencies, right? So for you, you're probably not going to profit much, in my personal opinion, if you all of a sudden just turn your rigs back on and try to take advantage of it. I don't think there's enough time. I think if, all of a sudden you come on, yeah, you'll make a little bit of coin here and there. It's not going to be really worth your while. My personal opinion, we dollar cost average because you could not well, some people could if they have a massive, massive farm, but more than likely, most people out there are not going to be able to mine enough coin to make this opportunity really worth your time, in my personal opinion. Where I think you'll do well is $100 here in Cadena, $500 here into Flux or whatever, right? That's an example. Don't actually do those things. It's literally an example. That's how you take advantage of these major dips. It's not, I'm mining through the major dips and then I get, this massive amount of coin and then it's worth a lot more later. I don't think in this particular moment, I'm not talking about the whole year, but I'm talking about in this particular advantage that we have. I think dollar cost averaging, purchasing the coin is going to be 10 times better than just simply turning your rigs on or pointing it to that coin at this current moment and trying to get a lot more coins. Because again, these opportunities are not going to come around all that often. They do come around. You could still make a lot of money in these bear markets. As you have seen, these pumps from January to pretty much the end of February, there was a major, major pump still in the bear market, right? So this is just part of that cycle. That up, we already went up, now we're crashing back down. Do we need a full-on bull market to make a lot of money? Absolutely not. We do not need a full-on bull market to make a lot of money. This is the time to dollar cost average, in my personal opinion, and you will make a lot of money, maybe a month or 2 or 3 or 4, and then, don't get too greedy, man. Don't be looking for these 2, 3, 4, 5x plays. This is not the market for that, in my opinion. This is the market for a 30% flip, a 25% gain. Pretty good, because if you don't mark that percentage, you don't say, I want to make this percentage or that amount of money. I personally think percentage is a little bit safer for my strategy, but if you don't set a goal, you're just going to hold it. You're going to hold it for another 6 months or a year or 3, whatever, man. If you think that's the best, go ahead. I personally think we're very risk off in this market. We got to take advantage of the small movements. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because they are miners. I'm a miner too, guys, but you also have to use your common sense. There's better times to mine. There's worse times to buy, and there's better times to buy, and there's worse times to mine. You get what I'm saying, right? So I love every single one of you. I've rambled quite enough. Felt like I really need to make this video. You'll be fine. Maybe some bad things in the short term are coming. Long term, it's all good. I love every single one of you. Do check me out on Twitter at DJ Waters. I'll put a link in that description below. Check me out in Discord, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. DJ Minds, signing out.